Here, I know you're gonna dig this.
They'll go to second for one, and now they got the man trapped at third and tagging out. And second and 2, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Here, I know you're gonna dig this. You're gonna dig this.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's a cool Monday in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It is supposed to get down to 30 degrees in night. Already, I'm not ready for this. I'm not. I want summer back or some form of fall, but 30 degrees in fall, that's not right. That's just not right. I know fall's here. I don't know when fall comes, but I don't want winter to come. I don't want it to come, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want it to come. But I have no choice. I'm going to say this, though. It gets cold up here, and it snows up here, and it rains up here, and it kind of gets hot up here. But I don't know if I could deal with what goes on down in Florida. That's another animal that I just can't take care of that. I can't do the animal. I can't do that animal. That stuff that comes through Florida, tornado, hurricanes, and witches on brooms and things of that nature. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So we got a lot of stuff going on today. We got Mr. Curry on the line. We got Matthew on the line. We got
what's up?
We got Mo on the line. And we got Dana on the line.
Yes, sir. I hate Philly. I hate Philly.
I hate Philly.
Yeah.
So
Hurricane Dana.
Hurricane Dana's on the line, ladies and gentlemen, and he sound good today, ladies. Y'all can hear him, huh? That was clear as I know he ain't got T-Mobile no more. He probably went to AT&T or Verizon. That can't sound like that. Don't sound like T-Mobile. That don't sound like T-Mobile.
He's on the phone.
But anyway, man, let me say this, okay? A neighbor of mine just passed away about a couple hours ago, so I want to send a shout out to the Johnson family. Nicole Johnson went to school with her and her brother and her husband. May Mr. Proctor rest in peace. Sad day. A neighbor told me the day I took the day off. I needed stressful. I need a less stressful day today because people at work is killing me. But anyway, right now we got Major League scores. You got the Mets up 6-1 on the Dodgers in the top. It's the bottom of the sixth. Yo, the Mets jumped on the Dodgers crazy in the second inning. And the Dodgers are going to use the bullpen method again. It ain't working too well right now. It just ain't working too well right now. So they got to come back up with another plan of attack, or they going to New York. So nice and in it twice, tied up one apiece. And you know the weather in New York ain't like the weather in LA. Not that I don't think the Dodgers can get it done, but you got the Yankees on tonight as well. So the World Series, the playoffs is underway. Dodgers and Yankees got out of that wild card position, even though I still don't like it. I don't agree with it. But again, we came up with some solutions how to fix it. Hopefully they can fix it. If they keep it the same way it is, I don't know if I like it. Got some awesome information probably if we can get around to talking about free agency for MLB. But let's go ahead and do the football pick'ems. I didn't get Rich's information last week, but as of right now, Rich is 35-40. Sandman is 36-38, and Dana is 43-32. Dana doing a good job with his picks. But I think me and Mo the only one that signed up for it on Yahoo, and I think we beaten Dana. Am I not correct, Mo?
Man, I ain't even looking. You ain't even talked about my picks at all, so I don't even care.
I'm just saying. I look on there because I play another fantasy. I mean, I play another pick'em with another group, so I kind of check on what's going on there. And I'm thinking I'm in ninth place right now because I'm at the point now where
it would be easy.
Go ahead, Mo.
I'm just saying, put them there. Put them there. Get them to put them there. You ain't gotta worry about it so much. You always got it.
I just the Rams and the Browns. Oof, the Browns. Ooh, Lord, we're gonna talk about them too. Lord have mercy. Oof. You're talking about something going wrong. Going wrong.
You're talking about the Cleveland Browns or the Baltimore Browns?
I'm talking about I'm about to lead the Browns. That's what I'm talking about. I'm about to be a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Okay,
if they keep
I just want to make sure.
If they keep this mess up, I'm done with them, man. I'm so done. Everything I'm reading it's all behind the owner wanted Deshaun Watson there, and he still wants to start him. Now I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna talk about this as well. I just went through the list real quick, guys, of how many teams have players on the IR or out, and out of all the teams, the Steelers have 18 players, the Dolphins have 17 players, the Texans has 15, the Lions have 16, the Browns have 16. They're probably the highest. 49ers have 15. They're all higher. But the Lions are in the playoffs. I mean, Lions got a good record. The Texans got a good record. Dolphins got a good record. Steelers got a good record. 49ers got a decent record. The Rams were.
How do you go bury the lead like that? We got the most, and you put us right in the middle of the list.
No, I'm saying, but what I'm saying.
I'm gonna remember that.
But what I'm saying though is that even though y'all got 18 guys out or on the IR, you guys are still winning. So somebody got something ain't right.
Yeah. It's called coaching.
Exactly. And the Browns got 16 guys out, right?
And that's why I told you Kevin Stefanski is getting fired.
He's not. But see, the thing about it is he's not going to get fired because he's not the one pushing he's not the one that's pushing this envelope. Because if he gets fired, then the GM should get fired because the GM was the one that said, okay, let's bring him on. But that's not the case. The case
both
is
of them gonna get fired, Ken.
The case
you can't fire the owner.
I get that, but the owner knew he made a mistake, so he can't. And this is why they don't want to sit Deshaun Watson. But I got a reason why I got a reason why I think they should tank, and we're gonna talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and do these football picks. All right, so Thursday night, Jacksonville against the New Orleans Saints. Dana, who you got?
I got the Broncos.
Jacksonville Jaguars against the New Orleans Saints. Who you got?
No, they playing Jacksonville playing.
Do what?
In London.
Yeah, but you said the Broncos.
Thursday night game.
You said the Broncos.
The Broncos versus the Saints.
No. What are you looking at?
Yes, sir.
Week 17. This is week 7, right?
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Yeah. The Broncos play Saints on Thursday.
The Denver Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos Saints Thursday. October 17th.
Wait a minute. Mine says mine's got Thursday.
Yeah, the Broncos played the Saints on Thursday.
Wait a minute, what is wrong?
Jacksonville plays New England.
Oh man, this is the wrong. Wait a minute.
Hey,
I'm printing off the.
somebody get the host. Somebody fire the host.
Oh man, wait a minute.
He said Cleveland coach is gonna get fired. He's about to get fired from his own.
No. What the hell? How did this happen? How did I do this?
You're looking at 10/17/2012.
2023. How did that happen? Oh my God.
Hey, wait a minute. I got this guy.
I'm looking at I'm serious.
No, Kev. I got this one. Kev was thinking about good times when the Cleveland Browns were playing well and the Dodgers were gonna do well. So he automatically went back to 23.
5, 6. How did I end up doing that? I got the week 6. You know, did I mix these up with something else?
That's all right. We had a long day.
All right. Do me a favor, guys. Send me your picks. I'm gonna print this off again. I can't believe. How did I get to the 23? Oh Lord, have mercy. Okay. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4.
It's all good. Yeah, we all have bad days.
Week 5, week 6. See, something had to happen because it says week 18, and then it goes from.
Ain't nothing happened on our end.
No, it goes from 2024, then it goes to 2023. How that? Okay, all right. So let's do this since we still got that segment to do. Let's go ahead and look at some of the things that's going on in the NFL. Once I get my mouse together. Okay, NFL standings. What we got? Okay, so let's look at the schedule. We can look at the schedule from here. Just send me your picks. So we got week 7. Okay, now so we got Denver at the Saints, and that's in New Orleans. That's Thursday night, October 17th, right? Am I right, guys? Okay.
Yep.
You're right.
Okay, great. Because I'm looking at this like, okay, what's going on here? So we got Denver at New Orleans. We got New England at Jacksonville, Seattle at Atlanta. I think that's going to be a pretty good game. Tennessee at Buffalo, Cincinnati at Cleveland. Cleveland got the number, but Cincinnati playing a little good baseball and football. Houston at Green Bay it got to be must watch to see. You got Miami at Indianapolis. You got Detroit at Minnesota. That's gonna be a good game. You got Philly at the Giants. You got Vegas at the Rams. You got Carolina at Washington. You got Kansas City and San Francisco. That should be a decent game. New York Jets at Pittsburgh. Baltimore at Tampa. And Chargers at Arizona. The bye week in Chicago and Dallas. So I'm looking at Houston and Green Bay game. Detroit and Minnesota game are must-see games. Anybody see any game out there that other than those two games that's must-see?
What did you say, Kevin?
Houston at Green Bay and Detroit at Minnesota. Those to me are the two most intriguing games right now. Kansas City at San Francisco.
I was about to say.
Huh?
I was about to say San Francisco, but then you probably got the real Devontae Adams Bowl, the Jets versus the Steelers.
You know what? You could be.
You get the toilet bowl between the Cleveland Clowns and the Cincinnati Bungles.
But you know what? Dan Orlowski thinks that Cincinnati can make the playoffs. He really do. And guys, gotta remember though, Cincinnati got the easiest record, and they have the easiest strength of schedule as well. So if they get it together like we expected them to do, then they should have a nice running. But right now, Baltimore looks really strong to me. Detroit.
Did you mention Ravens and Bucks?
Say that again.
Did you mention Ravens and Bucks? Because that looks to be intriguing as well.
The Ravens and the Bucks.
Yeah, they're both 4-2.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not really. I mean, Baker Mayfield's playing good football right now, but I'm not really impressed. He threw a couple interceptions yesterday. Some of them were tip balls, but then some of them he like threw them right to the guy. So it kind of shows some pressure that he's under. That he'll pick them. But I mean, they end up winning the game anyway. They scored 51 points. But but again, I think I don't know if that game's going to be that good because Baltimore right now to me. I think personally speaking, I think they're better than Kansas City right now. I'm not gonna say better than Kansas City. I think they impress me more. They're more impressive right now than Kansas City. Anybody disagree with that?
The defense is more impressive than Kansas City.
Go ahead, Dana.
Who you say who's more impressive than Kansas City?
He must got T-Mobile back on. I said I think Baltimore has been more impressive than the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we'll do it a week and
Say that again, Dana.
I said I think Kansas City will be Baltimore.
I don't know, man, because I mean, you look at if he had a 6, that's a touchdown, and that game could have went a different way.
Yeah.
Well, I understand. Go ahead.
Kansas City 5-0. So how could that be? How could the Ravens be more impressive?
So let me ask you this question.
And they already beat Baltimore.
Let me ask you guys this question. Or is Kansas City more impressive than Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
Is it because of the record?
No.
Is it because of the record?
I think Detroit is more impressive. Why? Because they beat Dallas up?
No. It has nothing. They're winning. They're winning games, right? They lost one game, right?
I think Kansas City right now is fail.
I want to see what Kansas City does without the running back. That's the key to yes.
I just gotta tell you this right now. You need to be watching your game because New York is falling apart. In the field, they are falling apart. They have made 2 bad plays.
Yeah,
back to back.
I see the score 6-3 right now. Come on, Dodgers. Let's get it together. So let's rank them. Let's rank them 1 through 5. So who's number 1? The majority believes that the majority believes Kansas City is number 1, right? Because they're undefeated.
I don't. I'm from Detroit above them. I like Detroit.
Okay.
I got a number 1 until somebody beat them.
Curry, you feel the same way?
Yeah, I feel like Kansas City is number 1.
And that's because they're undefeated, right?
Well, they also beat the Ravens.
I think the Ravens beat yourself. But I mean, a loss is a loss. I grant you on that.
They lost to the Raiders, man.
Who lost to the Raiders?
The Ravens.
Oh. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's any given Sunday. Like they say, But I just want to look at
I said, Kevin, what are you basing it off of?
what am I basing off of? I'm gonna say this. I think Washington is legitimately a
No, not Washington. We're talking about
legitimate
the Ravens.
team, right? I think they have a good chance of winning their division, and even in a loss, they look good. They even that loss against Baltimore yesterday, they look really good. Baltimore was just a better team than them. That's all I'm saying.
But I don't see where you think the Ravens are so much better. Like everybody said, they lost to Kansas City and they lost to the Raiders.
Well, the Kansas City game, I'm not basing off the Kansas City game because that game could have went anyway. I mean, you again,
But it did.
again, if the touchdown scored, then we're looking at a different game. Maybe it goes in overtime and Kansas City still wins. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying what I'm seeing from Baltimore as far as the running game. And you had both teams, Washington and Baltimore were 1-2 in rushing. Okay. And what I saw from Derrick Henry yesterday and what Lamar Jackson did. Now I'm gonna tell you what the problem is with Baltimore right now is their defense is not. To me, their defense is really not good because Washington pretty much could do whatever they want to do on the field. I just think that at certain points of the game they just couldn't get that. They couldn't get that that 3rd and 5 that down going, and Baltimore ended up getting the ball back. I think that's what kind of hurt them somewhat during the game. If you look at the 3rd down conversion, I don't think Washington's were that high. But again, I just my opinion. I'm more impressed. If I had to rank them 1 through 5, I would go Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit. Who I'm thinking about right now. Okay, let me go back again. Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota. I want to say Green Bay. That's what I want to say. I want to say Green Bay. That would be that would kind of be my top 5.
Over to Texas?
Yeah, well, yeah. I would say over Texas. I would say over Texas, even though they looked good yesterday. And the concern was the weather up there in Foxborough. What type of weather was going to get in? Without Nico Collins, they got it done. So I was impressed with that as well. But that's just my top 5 right there. That's my top 5.
Yeah.
That would be my top 5. But this is the question, guys. What team that is you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 teams that are 2 and 4. The Bengals, the Raiders, the Giants, the Saints, and the Cardinals. Out of them teams, who do you think could probably make the playoffs? They could get in the playoff team, get in the playoff, make a playoff run.
Bengals. I feel like the Saints. Yeah.
So do you think the Saints can do it without
Derek
Carr?
Even with Carr out, I feel like they can get back into that position where they can get the chemistry going with Rattler until Carr comes back. And then they can get Carr back on track on what he was doing prior.
So Mo says the Bengals. I'm gonna say the Bengals too, because of their record. And Matthew says, he says the Saints. Dana, who you
And I
got?
was going to go with the Bengals, but my problem is their defense.
I got the Bengals.
The Bengals too, Dana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who the Saints do?
Lou, who you got?
I got the Saints.
The Saints. Curry, who you got?
I got to go with the Bengals too. I just see the Saints. Saints feel like world beaters first two games, and that is sit there and lost sports kind games. They're done.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's sad that Carr got hurt. But I think he was the key to that offense being really explosive. Let me see here. So I'm looking at my computer. My mouse is just acting up today. Okay. Let's see what we got here next. All right. So let's since we didn't we didn't do the pick'ems, but we did talk about the 2 and 4 teams, and we can go back to pro football in a minute. So let's look at the college rankings. And I gotta say, guys, I'm really impressed of the Penn State Nittany Lions being down 20-3, 20-6 at halftime, and come back and winning that game in USC. And man, so it was homecoming from my high school. We lost 21-24. We had, I think, probably 4 turnovers. We was driving at the end, and we got a holding penalty, took us back 10 yards, so we lost on downs. So I came home to watch the Penn State game, and I was trying to get dressed to go out, hang out with some of my friends. One of my friends came in town. We were gonna hang out with my classmates, and I start cramping up, right? So I'm sitting watching the Penn State game and trying to pay bills, and my hands cramping up, my feet cramping up. I'm drinking pickle juice, that ain't working. I'm eating mustard, that ain't working. I go put my hands in some hot water, then I kind of relax them a little bit, so I start to write again as cramping again. So I get the heating pad, put my left hand on it because I'm left-handed. I put my heating pad on my hand underneath the heating pad. Everything else was good except for my left hand kept cramping up. So that made me focus on the game, right? And I'm like, when I saw it was 20 to, I think, no, was it 20? It was 17-3, I think it was. And they exchanged field goals right before halftime. And I was going to turn the game off. I said, man, Penn State ain't going to win this game. But I ended up staying and watching the whole game. I was so impressed with them. I might have to stick and stay, guys. I don't know. I just have to might stick and stay. Texas is number 1. Oregon's number 2. And Penn State's number 3. Ohio State's number 4. Number 5 is Georgia. And Dana's the U is number 6. Dana, can we see y'all again this year in the national championship game, Dana? What you gonna do? Y'all gonna wear that camouflage stuff again?
No, we ain't gonna do that no more.
Number 7, you got Alabama. Number 8, you got LSU.
No.
Number 9, you got Iowa State. Number 10, you got Clemson. Number 11, you got Tennessee. 12 is Notre Dame. 13 is BYU. 14, Texas A&M. 15, Boise State. 16 is Indiana. 17, Kent State. 18th is Ole Miss. 18th is Ole Miss. 19th is Missouri. And number 20 is Pitt Panthers. So we got some games coming up this weekend, guys, in college football. So I think that let's see where we're at Saturday. So we have Oregon playing Purdue. That should be a win for them. Miami number 6 plays Louisville in Louisville. Then y'all be struggling on the road, but y'all should pull that one out. Army is still undefeated. And there was another game. Okay. Alabama at Tennessee.
Hey, speaking of them real quick.
Go ahead.
For the first time since 1960, Both Army and Navy are in the top 25. Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, they said the supposedly coach for Army is getting calls already about leaving Army to coach somewhere else. But you got Alabama number 7 at Tennessee at number 11. That's 3:30 game. That should be a slob knocker, as they say. Then you got Notre Dame at 12 at Georgia Tech, Michigan and Illinois, 24-25. Navy, they play Charlotte. That's about it. Oh no, I'm sorry. Georgia and Texas, 7:30.
Yeah.
That should be a slob. That should be a slob knocker right there. That's the one, you go out and get all your goodies together, get your 6-pack of beer, just sit down in your recliner and just relax and watch that game. That should be an excellent game. That's gonna be a good game, man, because I think
could be.
Whoever loses that game might be out of it with 2 losses. That'd be 2 losses. That'd be 2 losses. That'd be Georgia's 2 losses. And who they playing again? Texas. So that should be a good game. Anybody got?
Georgia does lose. I think the Kansas are going to be out of the championship.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I want to see who's going to be the first team to have 2 losses that are in the top 15. Yeah. Because they go from 12 and up. So you think about it. If you look at it right now, with Texas, you got Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, and Texas A&M are in the same conference. So you got like 4 teams battling for 2 spots to play in the championship game. In the Big Ten, you got Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, and that's it in the top 12. And then in the ACC, you have Miami, Clemson, Notre Dame, and that's it. So you got 3 conferences that's battling for those 12 spots. And so, and the thing about it is, Penn State don't play Michigan this year. They play Ohio State. But let's look at Texas. Let's look at Texas' schedule real quick. So Texas doesn't play anybody ranked after Georgia. They got Vanderbilt, Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, and they got Texas A&M, who's 14 right now. So that's not a cakewalk because Vanderbilt upset somebody. That's not a cakewalk, man. That's not a cakewalk. Even though them guys are not ranked, they know each other very well. Okay, and let's look at Oregon. Excuse me. Oregon has Illinois, Michigan, back-to-back. They're 2 ranked teams. They have Purdue, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Washington. So that could be that's, if you look at the rankings, that could be a pathway to the Big Ten championship game. And you look at Penn State. So Penn State they're at Wisconsin. They got number 4 Ohio State. That's going to determine right there what happens. They have Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland. So that Ohio State will probably be the key to where Penn State go. But Penn State only has 1 loss. That still can probably put them in the running. But that puts Ohio State in front of them by they'll probably don't have the same record, but they went head to head, so they probably get the tie as of right now. So I'm looking at the standings. They don't have a division no more. They just have a conference. Because before they had a division, they just have a conference now. They don't divide it. They know. Okay, all right. It is what it is, I guess. So we should see something going on real soon within the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's going to open it up between that 1 and 5. Again, Georgia, they're on the bubble. Alabama. Let's look at Alabama. Let's go to look at Miami. Look at Dana's club.
Yeah.
They played nobody.
Hey, last time Pitt was 6-0 was in 1982.
Wow. The U has nobody's ranked, Dana. Y'all got Louisville, Florida State, Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and Syracuse. That Florida State game is gonna be a big one. That's 7 o'clock game. That's prime time, Dana. They better win.
Yeah.
They're my little brothers as far as football. And let's take a look at Alabama real quick, guys. Alabama had Tennessee this week coming up. Missouri's ranked. LSU's ranked. LSU's number 8. They have Mercer, Oklahoma. Man, see, we talked about this last year. How in Sam Hill do you play Mercer at the end of your schedule?
Now here's the catch, though. Mercer currently is 6-0. They're ranked number 7 in the SEC.
Matthew, do you want to know what the average score of the games are with them?
Hey, if Alabama loses to Mercer, you can go ahead and fire the boy.
Alabama ain't lose. Alabama's not gonna lose to Mercer. They ain't lost. They probably ain't lost. They've been blowing Mercer out by 35 points average. But there is some rumors that Mike Vrabel might be going to Ohio State to be the next head coach, guys. What's your thoughts on that? Y'all think that'd be a good move for him? I don't. Why not?
I think he'd be better suited for the NFL. The way these players moving around now, and this NIL and the players transferred, I think he'd be better suited for the NFL. And he's shown in the NFL that he can actually coach at that level. So I would, if I'm him, I just sit back and get one of these jobs that's going to come open, and he'll be a sought after candidate when these jobs do come open.
I totally agree with you on that, because when I read the article about him going to Ohio State, I was like, I don't know if that's going to be a good fit for him, because he's never coached. He's never coached in college before, and it's a big difference, because with college you are recruiting all year round. When season's over with, you're out on the road. Or if you're on the road, then you have your recruiters on the road. You have your OC, DC, special team. You got everybody out there on the road recruiting somebody, and then now you got this NIL situation going on. You know that money talks and everything else walks. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you.
No bye weeks for the country.
I give you credit on that, Curry, because I don't know if he's built for that. That college sports is built for younger guys, I think, that wants to get involved in college football. That spirit of just getting up and flying everywhere, and that can get boring, man. That could be tedious, man. That could be tedious. And speaking of,
you know something else, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
I think he could, if he just waits his time this year, he's definitely going to get an NFL job. But if he goes to the college level and he flops at that level, he'll never get another head coaching job at the NFL. He may get an assistant or a coordinator or something, but his best bet is to just kind of wait right now, and he probably can write his own checks at the end of the season.
What NFL team do you guys think that he would fit well with right now? And if we were to look down the list of teams, the Jets, could he go to the Jets? Would that be a good fit?
I thought Carolina.
Carolina's not getting rid of that too.
Over that one. Jacksonville.
Don't get me started with Phil now.
Do you think he could be good in Jacksonville?
No, because Trevor Lawrence needs a quarterback next for him.
He got one. It ain't working, Dana.
No, man, you know,
could
when you get paid, you gotta take a
could Dallas be a place for him, guys?
It wouldn't be a good fit, but it could be a place.
What about the Eagles?
I mean, it wouldn't be a good fit, but Jerry Jones is pretty good.
What about the Eagles?
Yeah. That'll be a good fit.
I can see Sean McVay hanging it up and him going to the Rams.
Now, I don't think Sean McVay is going to leave. I don't think he's going to leave. If this becomes a disaster season, I don't think he's going to leave like this. I don't think he wants to leave.
He just don't look like he's interested anymore.
You know what? He doesn't seem like
he don't have that fire he wants.
Yes.
Am I right or wrong on that?
I can agree with you on that, because that game, the game that they was Green Bay, I think it was. They played Green Bay. Was it Green Bay? The last game they played, I think it was. Was it? Oh, I can't remember who it was. But Tutu Atwell ran the wrong pattern, and the guy intercepted the ball, and he just looked at the guy catch the ball, and he didn't try to deflect the ball, nothing. Usually, Sean McVay would, he would grimace or say something. He just looked at it and it didn't faze him at all. But I don't think that he's going to. I don't think he's going to lead the organization like it is right now. If they don't make the playoffs, I think he comes back next year to prove that he can do it. Because again, like I said, they got like 16 guys that's out or on the IR, so that's a lot when you have a 53-man roster, and you gotta replace those. You gotta replace those guys. By him leaving or staying?
Him leaving, it might not be his choice. Oh,
the owner loves him. That he ain't going nowhere. The owner won't fire him. I'm telling you that he's in love with him. Them guys go on vacations together. They don't live too far from each other, actually. So they have a really great relationship between each other. Yes, sir.
If Bill Belichick and Jimmy Johnson can be fired, anybody can be fired.
Well, but see, there's reasons behind those two guys getting fired, and the Rams owner is not. He's hands off, right? He's not. He's hands off. I mean, the thing about it is he's probably the second richest owner in the NFL, because he basically built that stadium by himself. I mean, the NFL probably gave him a little dollar, but the city of Los Angeles the taxes didn't go up or anything like that. So he's really hands off when it comes to that team. So I wouldn't see him asking him to step down at all. But Vrabel, I think Vrabel would definitely be better in NFL than he would be in college. Yeah. So next up, guys, let's talk about.
Real quick.
Yes, sir.
Their game to watch, and it'll be on ESPN2 Saturday night. And that's number 2 North Dakota State versus number 1 South Dakota State.
I was just looking at their I looked at their rankings. I was looking at that before. Let me go back to that real quick, because I there's a question I had that I wanted to ask you about that. Let's see here. So they're in the FCS, right? South Dakota. Right. So South Dakota is 5-1. North Dakota State is 6-1. Montana State is 7-1. South Dakota is 5-1. Villanova is 5-1. UC Davis is 6-1. Mercer is 6-0. Southeast Missouri State 6-1. Tarleton State is 6-1, and North Dakota. You got a North Dakota State and a North Dakota. That would just drive me crazy. And then you got a Montana.
And then there's
how many?
Yep.
Matthew, all South Dakota, North Dakota, and Montana, all of them are going to they're moving up, right?
So the update with that is more than likely the only team right now that has a good chance of going up a level is Tarleton State.
Wow.
And now here's the reason for that. In order for them to do the upgrade, they have to pay a $5 million fine in order to move up to the FBS. Then, too, each stadium that they have in the athletics department has to be at a certain capacity. And currently, the only one that is kind of up to date with that is Tarleton State, which they're on board with it. Now, also within the next year or two, you might see Sacramento State try and enter the Pac-12, as they're currently upgrading their football stadium from 10,000 to 25,000 before they put in their application and pay the $5 million fine, because they have enough donors to cover that cost.
Okay. So the issue basically is the teams the teams that are in the FCS, they, in order for them to leave the conference, all of them have to pay that $5 million.
Yep, each college. It's not a new rule. It's just something that hasn't been done in a while. And then the other thing going on is South Dakota State and North Dakota State, and potentially even Montana, might want to stay in the FCS because they currently believe that the FCS might follow their same position when it comes to the playoffs by the end of the decade. Because in the FCS, their playoffs are 25 teams.
So let me ask you a question.
12.
How much? Now we know. Help me out with this, Mo. Florida State wants to lead the ACC, right? So how much do they have to pay to lead the ACC? It's Florida State in Clemson, right?
Like $100 million.
Oh my Lord!
I'll look it up.
Whoa! $100 million. And okay, so $100 million.
Every year it goes down.
So $100 million in how?
It would be actually. I'm wrong. Florida State lawyers estimate that the cost to buy back its media rights and leave the ACC would be around $572 million.
500. So how do that money get divvied up? Do they go through the teams that's already still there, or how does that work?
Yeah, all the money is divided equally through the teams.
Say it again, Mo.
Florida State, Miami, and Clemson were trying to get a larger part because they felt like they brought more people and more recognition to the ACC. But right now, I think it's divided equally among all the teams.
Okay.
Because when Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA, Colorado, and them all left the pack, Washington State and Oregon State filed a lawsuit immediately, and they actually won that lawsuit to where each college had to pay them a certain amount, I want to say around $72 million from each college, on top of they get like a certain percentage when they're in the Big Ten from their first 2 years.
Okay, so now when all the teams from the Pac-10 went to the Big Ten, the reason why they left? Because they had lost money because of COVID, right? But now where did they get this money from to leave?
So the reason why they all left was because the owner of the Pac-12 at the time was being greedy with TV contracts.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Okay.
And it got to the point to where he wanted a contract with Apple TV, which drew the straw for all the big teams, which then drew in the smaller teams to move to their conference, and then the two teams that are still there.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So next up, we're gonna talk about them Heisman Trophy candidates, baby.
Ooh,
I got a sleeper from Penn State. I don't his last name is Allen. I think it's Warren Allen, tight end. This guy does everything. So right now,
yeah.
who they have?
I got the Allen right here.
Ashton Janetti, Boise State, running back. He's plus 270. Travis Hunter, Colorado. Wide receiver, cornerback, 310. Cam Ward, Miami quarterback, plus 380. Jalen Milroy, Alabama quarterback, plus 950.
I got Janae at plus 185.
Just said Milroy was the leader last week at plus 165 before the Crimson Tide lost 40-35 to Vanderbilt. Hunter was a plus 425 last week, and Ward was a plus 550. Janetti was a plus 900 last week. Heisman Trophy candidates. Here's a close look at the top candidates. I'm just saying, like, okay, so Janetti, he is 95 attempts, 1,031 yards. He averaged 10 yards a rush, 16 touchdowns. He's averaging 10 yards a carry. That's a first. Every time he touches the ball, that's a first down.
Yep.
That's crazy. Travis
and guess what? If you compare his stats to Derrick Henry, Ingram, and Bush, combine them all three together within week 6, and he basically has almost more yards than all three of them combined.
That's crazy. That's insane.
And he's up, and they're saying that the way he's doing, if he can push more yardage throughout the rest of the season, he could potentially be better than Barry Sanders when it comes to the stat line.
Yeah, because it says right here, Janetti averaging 206 yards a game. He's on pace for 12 games total of 2,474 yards, 13 games total of 2,681 yards, and 14 game total of 2,886 yards. The last running back to take serious run at Sanders and Melvin Gordon, who rushed for 2,587 yards, 29 touchdowns in 2014. Gordon averages 174.2 yards through 5 games. He also finished second in the Heisman voting that year. It is tough for a running back to win a Heisman. Janetti might be the favorite now, but he has to maintain the absurd pace. We're talking about 2,500 yards and likely push Boise State at least close to the college football playoff conversation to stay there. Wow, that's incredible. And Travis Hunter is wide receiver, deep back. He has 46 catches, 561 yards, 6 touchdowns, 16 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. Could he be the next Deion Sanders? Cam Ward, he's thrown for 2,219 yards, passing 69.92% completion rating, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Yes, sir.
I believe more responsibility.
Jalen Milroy, quarterback, Alabama, 1,270 yards, 73.4% chance. 73.4 completion rate, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. All right, 283 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns. So the kid from Penn State though, the tight end / running back / wide receiver / quarterback / whatever, this dude, he does it all. You probably, if Penn State gets, if they can stay undefeated or maintain in the top 5, maybe top 6, you'll hear something about this kid. I'm like, this guy does everything, and one tackle can't bring him down. I'm just, this guy, he's I want to say he's not as big as Gronk, but I'm gonna say like he probably faster than Gronk, has more agility, but he's a tight end that they put him in the backfield. He throws the ball, he hands the ball off, he runs, he plays wide receiver, he plays tight end, he plays fullback. This kid does it all, man. He does it all. And USC wasn't ready for him on one of the plays, but yeah, this Heisman thing is gonna be really interesting coming up. It's gonna be really coming up. So we got a topic that's near and dear to our heart, Mo, guys. So at the beginning of the year, Curry said that Justin Fields and Russell Wilson together don't equal quarterback. So Russell Wilson has a strained calf muscle or something of that nature. So Justin Fields has been sitting in for him. And watching him play against the Raiders, I was really impressed how he played, how he just did what he did in the pocket. And I mean, I guess this is a win-win for Chicago and Pittsburgh because Caleb Williams is starting to develop into the quarterback they wanted Justin Fields to be. But man, I'm gonna say this, Mo. If somebody's calling for Russell Wilson and they got a decent backup quarterback, he got to go. Ain't no need him sitting on the bench. He's just wasting up. He's wasting up a number and wasting up a spot. But do you think that
we got Kyle Allen as well, the guy who used to back up Josh Allen in Buffalo?
So do you think that should Tomlin make him? Should he come out now and say that he's my starting quarterback now, or why do you think he's still waiting not to say it?
Nah, Russ isn't fully healthy still. He was the second quarterback, so he could have played. But I think they wait until after Russ requests a trade.
Oh, after Russell.
Which I'm hoping that the Raiders want him and we can trade him for Devontae. Which should be a huge coup.
But they're gonna want, see, they're gonna want more than Russell because.
Yeah, we can give them a pick, but I'm saying they want other compensation as well. We can still give them a pick, but we're not gonna give them a second of Russell.
But why would they want Russell?
We'll give them a third.
So probably. My question is, why would they want Russell when they're gonna draft a quarterback next year? Because
he could still be the bridge quarterback.
I was gonna ask you, do you think he could be that bridge quarterback? But now knowing that he's gonna be the bridge quarterback, will he want to go there? That's the question.
But the question is, if he plays for the rest of the year and he looks right, they're in Vegas, so that would be good for Steve's career. They might like it in Vegas, and if he plays well, he could be their quarterback. If he doesn't, then they still can draft the quarterback.
Okay. So
it's good for both sides because Russ just wanted to reestablish his value.
Okay. I can understand that. So Curry,
good for both sides.
Curry, I'm about to ask you a question. I'm about to ask
you. Curry, you want him in Miami because your quarterback can't stay healthy.
No, let me explain why I said that. Now, it'd be a win for the Steelers, yes, because you get what you want. How's that a win for Russell Wilson to go to the Raiders, one of the worst teams in the league? He gonna go over there and get himself killed over there on that O-line. How's that a win for him? If you want to do him justice, send him to a team that's a competitor and let him go to that team. Send him out to New Orleans. They got a fairly decent team. Send him over there. They need the quarterback. But you send him up there to Raiders, and you going to call that a win-win? Come on, man.
I was talking about for the Raiders and for Russ. I wasn't talking about Pittsburgh.
So would you think that the Raiders? I mean, so let's say somebody eating something because it sounds real good. Russell Wilson, and so if you're the GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers, what are you giving the Raiders? Russell Wilson, and what type of pick?
Third round pick. But that only comes with a renegotiated contract for Devontae Adams.
Oh, then I want 2 picks in. I'm not. I need 2 picks.
You're not getting 2.
I want 2 picks.
No, nobody else is giving you anything.
But I want 2 picks. If you're no, because now listen to me.
2028.
If we ain't going that far. I want it next. I want both of them next year. I want both of them next year because if you're saying it all hinges on,
I will give you a 6 if you give me back a 7. That's the only way I'm going to do it. It's not worth 2 picks. Russell Wilson is worth almost much to my quarter.
I don't think so. I want.
Look at what they got at quarterback right now.
I want. If I'm the Raiders, I want send me Wilson. I want a 3rd round pick this year. I want 3rd round next year, and I want a 5th round next year. I want 2, because what I'm going to do is I might package those deals, them draft picks up and move further down to get maybe the quarterback that I want if I'm not the number 1 or 2 or 3 team drafting, because I don't know what's going on right now as far as the draft. I haven't even looked at the draft coming up next year, other than the quarterback from, I think, Miami. I think he's coming out in what's the name? Son's supposed to be coming out. So
George Sanders. He was going to probably come out from Texas because he doesn't want to sit next year.
Somebody.
Arch Manning is going to start next year.
They had said who it was. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Well, I'll tell you this: if the Raiders do not need Russell Wilson to tank, they can do that without him. All you got to do is put your. I'm being serious.
I agree.
And give up your draft picks. You're trying to get a quarterback for next year. Why would you give up draft picks? You want to hang on to draft picks. That's what you want. You don't want to give up draft picks to get your mortgage to get another quarterback. Just go ahead and tank. You ain't got to give up nothing. That's what happened to Carolina. Carolina gave up a bunch of draft picks to get what they thought they was getting a primetime quarterback, and they just picked the wrong guy.
They sure enough
but they
did.
don't need it. Just stay where you're at, and you'll be all right, Raiders.
Is Russell Wilson better than Aiden McCown or what's his name, Gardner Minshew?
Yeah, I would say yes.
If so,
you don't want him to be better.
You have to do everything in your power to make that team better before you lose the team. Especially if you're the GM and the head coach, because you're not guaranteed to be there next year. The owner doesn't, but the GM and the coach do, if they want to be there next year.
Yeah, but everybody's got to be all in on this. You know, from the top down. The owner's got to be in. The GM's got to be in, and the head coach. Okay, this is the direction we're going in.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
And you feed this to your fan base, and you say, "Hey, listen, the Raiders fan base isn't going anywhere anyway, so you're not losing the Raiders fan base. They'll follow them anywhere they go. They can go to Kernersville, North Carolina, and the Raiders Raider fans will follow them. But my point is, if everybody's on board, and you say, "Hey, this is the direction we're going," and we know we're going to struggle this next year or so, but, you don't come out and say it, but we're basically rebuilding.
So I'm looking at a mock draft for next year. They got New England drafting Travis Hunter, but they were so impressed with May yesterday. I'm a little bit confused with that. That doesn't make sense to me. They got Carolina going after Quinn.
Travis Hunter is a wide receiver quarterback.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of the Sun. You're right. Okay. Then they got Quinn. The Quinn. How do you pronounce his name? Ewers from Texas going to the Carolina Panthers. He's a pocket passing quarterback. I'm gonna say this. I think that pocket passing quarterbacks are a thing in the past. And they got your boy Cam Ward going to the New York Giants. They got Will Campbell, offensive tackle, going to Tennessee. They got Terrania McMillan, wide receiver, going to Denver. They got Emory Jones, offensive tackle, going to Jacksonville. They got Will Johnson, cornerback, going to Arizona. They got Sanders going to the Rams. I'm okay with that. And they got Milroy going to the Browns. I'm okay with that too. And they got Garrett Newsomer from LSU going to the Raiders. And they got Mason Graham, defensive lineman, going to Miami. I'm not gonna go all of it. I just want to look at this and see what that looks like. So, but again, I'm on board with Curry. I don't know if I'm not bringing Russell Wilson there, to be the gap quarterback if I got Minshew there, right? Because that's who's there right now. So
they just sat Minshew last game.
Right, I understand they sat him down.
They obviously weren't happy with it.
Well, but the thing about it is though. So if you know you got holes to fill, you try to fill those holes as quick as possible as you can, right? And give up as little as you can.
Yeah, but you got your best player. Well, your second best player, because I'll say Max Crosby is better than Devontae right now. But your second best player doesn't want to play.
Well, that's
divided in the locker room.
Well, he already said that if they trade Devontae Adams, I might trade him too, because now there's no need for me to be here. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm looking to move both of them.
That was fake. That wasn't from him. That was something he read, but that wasn't from him.
That wasn't from him. Okay. I'm just saying if you're gonna rebuild over, and you got players and the thing about it is, when have the Raiders really been good when he's been there? They've had three coaches in the last 3 years, or 4 coaches, something like that. So there's no consistency there until right now with the coach they got there now. So I'm just saying though, I think their issue is not defense. I mean, Crosby wanted to leave or anything like that. But if you can get something for Devontae Adams and get something in return, and me personally speaking, I don't even want no player. I want draft picks back. I want capital, because now that capital I can use to get further down in the draft, to get exactly what I think I want, not what I need, but what I think I want. I mean, not what I think I want, but what I need. And so, the further down the draft you go, the better chance you are to getting what you want or what you need. And that's, if I'm the Raiders, that's my mind thought. I'm not even bringing nobody back. I just need draft picks. Give me draft picks. And if I can flip the draft pick, then so be it. That's what I'll do. That's just my personal opinion. Because at the end of the day, the person that the Raiders want, and I'm just looking here where they got the Raiders drafting. This kid from LSU, he'll probably still be there at number 10. You know what I'm saying? But again, they may say, well, maybe this is not the guy. Maybe they want to go after Milroy. Maybe they want to go after Shador Sanders. Maybe they want to go after one of those quarterbacks right there. And so that gives even the Cam Ward, maybe they want to go after him. So that gives them more opportunity to get to those guys better if they got more capital than they do if they trade a player. So I don't know about that. But again, Mo, do your thoughts? I mean, Curry, your thoughts on how well Justin Fields is doing in Pittsburgh? Are you overly surprised about the outcome, how this thing's looking right now?
I can't say I'm overly surprised, but Justin Fields has always shown flashes of goodness, but never flashes of greatness. And he's a good quarterback, but it seems like as the season goes on, the older the season gets, the more he tends to fall off. Now, he's doing all right. I mean, he's probably at a good fit with the Steelers, but I still don't trust him to be the long term there. I really don't.
Mo, what's your thoughts on that?
He's proved enough to be our future quarterback. Is he going to be a franchise quarterback to win your Super Bowl? I don't know. But is he good enough to get you there? I think he is. With enough people around him. And he's going to probably only get like $20 to $30 million per year next year. He's not going to request $60.
He shouldn't. He shouldn't request 60. He shouldn't. Does that
He
cut you
might
out?
get 40. He might get 40 since the going rate is 60 now.
Yeah, 40 is fine if that's what he's looking to get, but not no 60. Nah, he can't do 60. So right now it's the bottom of the eighth.
You give it 60 million, you're not gonna be able to get anybody else. That's Dallas.
Yeah. The bottom of the eighth is still Mets 6, the Dodgers 3. Mo, is the Dodgers on base? Cause I can't. I'm looking at it, it's not telling me.
I'm behind, but I thought it was I thought it was like 2 guys on base. Bottom of the eighth with 2 guys on with 2 outs.
Is that the Dodgers on base or the Mets?
Dodgers on base.
Okay, all right. Because at first I thought they
Hey,
would.
Kev, real quick.
Yes, sir.
That QB that I told you about last week
Uh-huh.
from Lima Senior, he broke the state record for passing touchdowns in a game. He had 10 passing touchdowns this past Friday. And they ended that game after the second quarter.
Wow. Hey,
And he's now at 3,740 passing yards.
Matthew, how tall is he?
He is 5'9".
Oh, that's gonna be an issue going forward.
5'9" and 165 or 175, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, 165.
So the Dodgers must have striked out or did something because they changed.
And he's only a junior.
They changed, so it should be the end of the eighth, still 63. 7:30, you got the Guardians and the Yankees coming up next. Go ahead, Matthew.
And to answer your question from last week, Lima Senior is a Division 2.
Okay. So, getting back to Justin Fields' situation, I think he's a future. I think he's a future quarterback for Pittsburgh. When I watched him yesterday, what I saw was he ran when he had to run, and none of his passes were passes where they were interceptable or anything like that. He's throwing the balls where the wide receivers can catch him, which is good. When he was in Chicago, that's not what he was doing. But then you didn't have. I want to say that you didn't have the offensive line that the Pittsburgh have, right? And even though the offensive line up in Chicago there were some issues with guys being injured and things of that nature, and sometimes you got to take that in consideration. But again, I think overall it's a win-win for Pittsburgh and a win-win for Chicago Bears as well. So the Lions right now lost the defensive end in Hutchinson. Rumors has been said that call the Browns for Myles Garrett, call the Raiders for Crosby. Go talk to Aaron Donald, see if you can get him out of retirement, things of that nature.
They should be calling the Jets.
I'll give them ready to say the Jets. Dana, who you gonna try to? Who do you get to try to fill that void with Hutchinson? Because he's going to be definitely missed. Because anytime you're double teamed, triple teamed, and now you ain't got to do nothing to that defensive end, that's room for disaster. Not that the Lions can't outscore people, but you don't want that to be the cross you have to bear is outscoring everybody. You want your defense to even step up. So if you're the GM of the Detroit Lions, who you looking to call to bring in if you can to help solidify that defensive line?
You already said it, Myles Garrett. Cleveland's probably getting ready to have a fire sale. Only one's going to be left is Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's the ugly thing.
Because he can't go nowhere.
Mo, who you looking to call for? Who you trying to bring in?
I try and call the. I actually, first of all, I look at Minnesota. I saw that they have a guy who was a good defensive end who was like ranked number 3. I think it was like the 13th draft pick on their practice squad. So I try and bring him to the roster, but then I call the Jets. As long as I'm okay with paying Hassan Reddick, next year I got him across from Aiden Hutchinson anyway.
Oh, so okay. So let me go back to Dana. Oh no, Curry, who you calling?
I'm like Dana. I'll have to go with Myles Garrett. If you notice, I put in the in the chat yesterday that if I'm Cleveland, I'm trying to move Myles Garrett. So yeah, I'm trying to pick me up some draft picks. They're gonna need a quarterback, man. It's just obvious they're gonna need a quarterback. So moving Garrett and one of maybe another player that might help them to get them a good quarterback.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's even gonna help Cleveland because that's where quarterbacks go to die. Cleveland.
You ain't lying about that one. Hey Matthew, who you gonna call?
Yep. I'm make the phone call to the Raiders and try and do a trade to get Crosby. And I feel like if I'm the Lions, I feel like I got a good chance of getting Crosby for a few picks and then a chunk change. Because currently Crosby right now isn't happy in Vegas, especially after yesterday, because there is footage of him doing a little shove on his defensive coordinator yesterday because he's not impressed with the playbook that he's calling.
Okay. Mo, what did the Jets give up to get old boy from Philly?
Reddick?
Yeah, what they give up for him?
I think like a 3rd round pick.
So they could probably get a 3rd round pick back. They gave up a 3rd round pick to get him to come there. But he's gonna have to sign a contract though, right? He would have to.
Yeah, it was a conditional 3rd round pick. That becomes a 2nd round pick if Reddick plays 67.5% of the snaps and records 10 or more sacks.
I think that might be the best way to go.
So I would say that they would trade the same thing. If I was Detroit, I would definitely do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would do that too because now he actually he's fresh. He ain't played all year long, yo. And you gotta commend this guy, yo. He's losing money out the Yahoo's for not showing up. But my thing is with this whole situation is how do you trade him and you don't have a discussion about my contract going forward is the part that bothers me. So there had to be a good faith conversation that went on between him and the Jets about his contract because he's never put the jersey on as of yet. So I'm a little confused on how this all happened. And they didn't talk about a contract. That just baffles my mind there. That really baffles my mind that he didn't get a contract. If I'm and
man, we talking about the Jets, man.
But I'm saying though but I'm just saying they had a talk though because if they're talking, he says yeah I need a contract or I'm not playing, then why make that trade? Because if you're not going to give him a contract, which they haven't done, why even bring him in? That to me that makes no sense at all. Did they thought he was going to be super stupid or double dumb and just go out there and play without having a new contract, which he asked from the Eagles? Was now I think the Eagles if they had to do it all over again, they probably gave that man his money. That's the part that's confusing to me because nobody's talking about that. Nobody's having a conversation about him and the money part of it. That's the part that's baffling my mind.
Because this is what was said. They said the Jets made a contract offer to Hassan Reddick before they made the trade. He turned it down. The team still went ahead with the trade without a deal in place.
See, that's
the Jets, man.
But that makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. Now, I wonder was it comes to, okay, well, how much are we off? And more likely, a lot of times, what this is the guaranteed money up front that they're off. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that probably is the sticking point right now for them. But yeah, I would. That's the one I think I would call him. I would call them up and say, "Yo, I'll give you a third for him. I'll give you a third and a fifth. I'll give you a third and fifth next year." And
No, I'm requesting to talk to him first.
well, yeah, of course, I would go. Of course, I would have a conversation with
And
him.
if he says he'll never play for the Jets, I'm giving him a 4th round pick.
Now, if our conversation is I'm never going to play for the Jets because they didn't honor the contract or the money wasn't right, and this is what I want, and if I can give it to you, I'm going to give it to you. And I'm going to say this: Sean McVay broke the bank. With the Rams, he brought in Von Miller, brought in all them guys to win the Super Bowl. It was worth it because they won the Super Bowl. Detroit got to do the same thing right now. They have to do the same thing because without him, they're going to struggle a little bit on defense. Not that the guy that's backing him up can't do what he do, but he can't do what he do. You know what I'm saying? Because he getting triple team, double team, quadruple team. Tight end is not nudging him off. The fullback or running back is blocking him as well, so he can't get to where he need to get to. It's a sad story. I mean, a sad injury for him, and I hope he comes back healthy. Now they did say that the surgery went well, but man, that guy gives it all. I mean, and you know he doesn't. He's not in the limelight. He's not really on social media or anything like that. He just wants to play football. You know, and people like that, my heart goes out to them, especially when they have have an injury like that.
Here's a scenario for you.
Okay.
All right. If you're the Raiders, you wanna make some draft picks. All right, you send Devontae Adams over to Pittsburgh and make Mo so happy because he's being selfish. But you send him over there, and you get your number 2 this year, and a 3 for next year, and then you send Max Crosby over to Detroit, and you probably gonna get your number 1 from them because Max Crosby will demand a number 1 because he is just that good. So they could actually put together some pretty good draft picks, but you got to know how to use them if you use them. That's not bad.
That's not a bad idea. Because now they're sitting with a bunch of capital that can push them up to be in the trade for the number 1 spot if that's who they really if the player they want they feel like ain't gonna be there. If it's that quarterback from LSU, he'll probably be at number 10. But if he's not the main choice and they want to go after somebody else, that would be smart. That would definitely be smart. I like that. I could work with that. As GM I could work with that. I could definitely work with that one. What we got else? What else?
And then Mo is happy.
Yeah, Mo's happy. He's happy, but he don't. But see, he don't understand something about he wants. I think Adams
We
really
ain't giving up a 2nd and a 3rd.
I think Adams really wants to go
You can see that right now.
I think Adams really wants to go to Green Bay. I mean not Green Bay, to the Jets. He just ain't saying it. He just ain't.
Take Mike Williams from the Jets because they're gonna have to trade Mike Williams then.
No, why can't they have 2 number?
I agree with Kevin on that. I think he'd rather play with Aaron Rodgers than he would rather play with Justin Fields.
Yeah,
he would.
He wants.
But at the same time, he knows Justin Fields will be there for a few years.
But he's not going to be there. Adams is 31, 32 years old.
Yeah, he got like 2 more. He got 2 or 3 more years.
So, but
Aaron
now
Rodgers ain't playing 3 more years.
But the thing about it is, though, if he the whole thing about it is, I think he wants to go somewhere where he has opportunity to win. That's the most important thing, right? And so that kind of knocks Pittsburgh out, and that knocks the Jets out for real. If you really want to think about the pack, no, listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. That knocks him out.
Have a chance. We have a franchise. We have a defense that can win a championship.
Mo, wait a minute. Y'all not even the best team in your division.
Dude, we're the same record.
Y'all not the best team in your division.
Dude, our defense is so much better than.
I'm not talking about your defense. I'm just saying overall, Y'all not the best team in the division.
Defense with a championship.
I don't disagree with you on that one right there. But in the pecking order,
So you can't say that, Nick.
and wait a minute.
I'm not taking this from your Browns fan.
No, hold up. Listen to me.
Because you don't know defense.
Wait a minute.
Offense.
No, listen to what I'm saying to you. Regardless, I'm a Browns fan or not. I'm an analyst right now, and I'm not a Browns fan. But I'm saying to you right now, Baltimore is 4-2, right? They won 4 in a row. Y'all 4-2. Y'all won 1 in a row. All right. So that's why they're the better team in the division. But if you go down, Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston,
the team that they
Kansas City. Listen to me.
We lost to. The team that they lost to, we destroyed.
Buffalo. Well, sometimes the matchup is better. Sometimes the matchups are different. You got Buffalo.
How many times they beat us last year?
Who?
Baltimore.
But they didn't have Derrick Henry last year.
We beat them 7 out of the last 8 games.
But they didn't have Derrick Henry last year. So this is a different team.
It don't matter, Kev. But we are the best team against Baltimore.
But I'm not. But see, you getting away from what I'm trying to say though. What I'm saying to you is Buffalo.
No, you're not paying attention.
No, I am paying attention.
I know the matchup. I live in Baltimore, Kev.
I'm not. But you're not listening. Let me finish. Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, Kansas City are the 4 teams that's leading their division. Okay, then let's throw you in there. Okay. Why
is Baltimore ahead right now?
I don't know why. Actually, you're tied. You're tied. And the reason, and it probably might be because they're in the.
They beat Cincinnati. They beat Cincinnati. The tiebreaker from the division.
Yeah, they beat Cincinnati, so they got the tiebreaker. So they got the tiebreaker of beat Cincinnati. But what I'm saying to you is right here: Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, and Kansas City are all they're first in the division. So then Pittsburgh comes next.
So we can.
So I'm just saying
tiebreakers that don't matter yet.
Well, I'm saying if the playoffs would start right now, you would be a wild card, right?
But they don't.
No, but this work with me here, okay?
They haven't played us yet.
I understand it, but this work with me right now. So.
And I'm working with you, but you also have to see my side of it too.
I do, but you're not letting me finish what I'm saying. So Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, and Kansas City all lead the division, right? Then you got Pittsburgh.
Does Baltimore really lead the division though, Kev?
Yeah, because they got the one win. They got the win in the division, so that puts them in first place.
That doesn't matter yet.
But I'm not worried about. I'm talking about right now. I'm just talking about right now.
But that's what I'm saying, Kev. That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about right now.
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about something that doesn't matter.
Right. But you're trying to make it matter down the line. But I'm telling you right now, it don't matter. But I'm just saying to you.
It does matter down the line. What matters down the line is when we play.
Right. But you still let me finish.
It's gonna happen later in the season.
But you still let me finish. So as I was saying before, and then you have Pittsburgh, who's 4-2, right? If Devontae Adams come there,
what is Baltimore's record? Wait a minute. No. What's Baltimore's record?
They're 4-2.
So who's winning the division, Kev?
Baltimore's in first place. They're tied.
Why are they in first place?
Because they play Cincinnati, and they won it.
Exactly. A tiebreaker that doesn't matter until the end of the year.
Right.
So they're tied, right?
Right. But what I'm saying, they technically
exactly. So stop saying Baltimore's first. Then.
But technically, there's a tie. But if they were to be a playoff game right now, you guys would get the wild card because they have the win. They have the one win in the division.
Now hold on, Dana. Now hold on though. No, now Kevin does have a point because there is a stat line here within the stat that is a PF and a PA, and Baltimore has a higher PF and a higher PA than Pittsburgh right now. Other than the record and the holding it away.
But you're still getting away from what I'm trying to say though. So what I'm saying to you right now.
What are you trying to say, Kev?
You won't let me finish. So if
Kev, you're using logic that doesn't make sense right now.
You're not letting me.
What you're saying without using logic.
You're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish. So if Devontae,
you need to agree that we're tied.
I just said y'all tied. Other than Baltimore.
Thank you. Now you can move on.
I said that before. I said other than them winning the division.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You kept coming back and saying that Baltimore's first in the division.
So
and we can replay that.
So, because if you look at the standings, they have Baltimore first, and they have Pittsburgh second. By ESPN,
there I go. That's what I'm talking about. You keep saying that, but we're tired.
But by ESPN standards or by the NFL standards, I'll tell you what we do. Let's go here once. Let's go.
No. What he's trying to tell you is that I know you're saying it don't matter to the end of the year, but let's just say they stayed on that same pace throughout the rest.
But he's making logic out of their first in the division and saying they were like that.
Okay, so
Pittsburgh would be the wild card right now.
But it doesn't matter.
So in American Conference, this is how it's ranked: Kansas City, Houston, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Buffalo. Because Buffalo is 3-2. So ESPN has it correctly because Buffalo has one less. I mean, everybody has one more win than Baltimore. They're number 4. So if Baltimore wins tonight, Buffalo wins tonight, then they'd be tied with Baltimore and Pittsburgh at 4-2. But my whole point was I'm trying to get around to the Davante Adams situation. If he goes to Kansas City, that's a no-brainer. If he goes to Houston, that's a no-brainer.
The Raiders are sending him to Kansas City.
You're not letting me.
But you're such bad logic.
But you're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish.
But Kev, you can't be an analyst if you're using terrible logic that they would trick Davante Adams to somebody in their division.
Listen to me. I'm just saying this. Okay. He can't go if he go to Houston.
But man, it's BS. You can't say something and expect me to think logically if you're saying some BS.
If he goes to Baltimore, it's pretty much over with Flowers.
Baltimore doesn't have money.
If he goes to Pittsburgh,
I'm not using terrible logic.
I understand all that. But if he goes to Pittsburgh, if Davante Adams goes to Pittsburgh, does it make Pittsburgh the favorite to beat Kansas City? Does it make him favorite to beat Houston?
No.
That's my point. I'm saying that's what I was trying to get through to you. That's the point I was trying to say. I was just going by the record. But
why did you just say that? You didn't have to say Baltimore
because you kept interrupting me, and I said you're not letting me finish.
No, Kev, because you kept using bad logic. You used bad logic 2 more times, saying that if they traded him to Kansas City or Baltimore, can't happen.
But money is not an object in the NFL. It don't matter what the salary cap is. If a team wants a player, they're gonna get that player if they got the opportunity. They can move money. They can realign contracts. So money.
So the Raiders are gonna trade him to Kansas City.
Money.
No.
The Raiders are gonna trade him to Kansas City.
No, they're not gonna trade him to Kansas City. But
this is between me and Curry. No, this is between me and Curry. Curry, you're saying that the Raiders will trade him to Kansas City.
No, I don't see him. No,
so you need to tell that to Kev. You need to tell that to Kev.
But I'm just giving you scenarios of where he would go. So if
it's not a realistic scenario.
But my whole thing was
you don't trade within the division.
But my whole thing was that wherever he goes, he wants to win. So if he wants to win, if he goes to Pittsburgh, does it make Pittsburgh favorite over Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, or Kansas City? That's all I'm saying. If he wants to go somewhere to win.
And you didn't even say Baltimore was ahead of the division to make your case.
I was just saying it because I was building.
I'm telling you, that's all you had to say, and we would have been done with it.
Right, but my whole point was that's my whole thing. He wants to win. He's at the age now where he wants to win. So that's what I'm saying.
You called yourself an analyst,
but
and you said if they trade him to Kansas City.
I'm just using that as a parable.
Come on, bro.
But my whole thing was this right here. Even if he goes to Pittsburgh, that doesn't make Pittsburgh better than some of the teams in the AFC. And that's why I'm saying even with the Jets.
I don't know.
Even though he really wants to go to the Jets, do that make the Jets better than the teams in front of them? They make it better than the teams that are already in the league? No, they don't. But that's what I'm saying. When you guys brought up his age, I was saying he really wants to win. So that really depends on where he goes. He's not going to go to a team that he's like, well, if I go here, maybe we might win the Super Bowl. Maybe you might not win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to go somewhere where he has a better opportunity to win. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
That he has currently.
I'm just saying that him going to Pittsburgh, like you want him to go to Pittsburgh, that doesn't make them Super Bowl favorites.
But I just told you, I'm okay with him going to the Jets because then they got to trade Mike Williams to us most likely.
Why would they have to trade Mike Williams?
Because they can't keep them both. Because they can't pay them both.
Well, Devontae Adams' contract ain't that steep because he just signed
He's
signed
making $1 million per year.
But
$1 million per game going forward.
But he just signed a new contract.
They ain't got that money.
With what's the name a while ago.
Yeah, he makes $36 million 2 years from now. He makes $1 million per game.
And again, like Curry said, if they want him, they'll find a way to make it happen. They'll find a way to make it happen.
And that's gonna be trading Mike Williams.
Well, I don't know about that either because that to me that doesn't make sense with them because Devontae Adams is up in age, so why would you get rid of Mike Williams who's younger? But again, I'm going back to the thing with Devontae.
You have to get rid of somebody off the 53.
But the thing about it is, like I said before, if Mike Williams wants to win, then he's not going to go to neither one of those.
Mike Williams is 30 years old.
I mean, not Mike Williams, but Devontae Adams. If he really wants to win, he's going to have to go somewhere in the AFC because nobody's going to trade him. They're not going to trade him to anybody in the AFC, even though it don't really matter that the Raiders are 2-4. What can he do? The only thing he's going to do is.
But we're talking about the Jets.
I understand the Jets,
Come on, man.
but why would he go to the Jets if he wants to win though? That's what I'm saying. He's not
a better fit than Devontae Adams for Pittsburgh would be Amari Cooper. But there again, you're not gonna get that trade because
we gotta go trade him in the division.
He'll be a perfect fit. But see, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate with Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get.
But I know it's not realistic. People don't trade players in the division.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I get your point. But again, if we look at the overall scenario of Devontae Adams, then nobody in the AFC is going to get him. That's the way I would look at it. Unless you're going and the only reason why I think the scenario that you brought up with Pittsburgh because they already played Pittsburgh, so that means they ain't got to play them again. But that doesn't mean they don't have to. That doesn't mean 2 or 3 years down the line they don't have to. They don't see Devontae Adams again. But they know if he go out west, I mean if he go to the NFC, they only gonna see him once every 4 years. And by the time that fourth year come around, he'll probably be out of the league. And to be honest with you, if I am Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'll be the one calling. I would be calling.
They have 2 great wide receivers.
Mike Evans is I think he's hurt. I think he got hurt this weekend. But even though you got 2 great wide receivers, why you can't bring the third? That makes
because they don't have cash, man.
They'll make a way. They'll make a way. They definitely make a way. I mean, I'm just saying though, if he's up in age, he wants to go to a team that he has an opportunity to win Super Bowl. Now, you could throw the Washington Commanders in there. I know they got cash. I would say Dallas Cowboys, but they don't want. They spend money on the wrong people. The Saints might be an idea. We know he ain't going to Carolina. Seattle.
That Derek Carr's hurt, right?
Yeah. I'm saying he don't want to go there because the quarterback situation. Arizona could be a possibility. Him and what's the name? Mark Jr.
Murray.
The wide receiver there.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Them 2 together. That could be a good fit. So the thing about it is, but Arizona's not winning.
How about the Vikings?
That would be a good fit too. That probably be that to me. That's probably be the best fit for him. For real, for real. If you really think about it,
That give him a little bit. That give him almost give him a shot.
that would yes.
Still not so
That would be that would that
Donald.
yes. Yes, that would be that would almost be the perfect place for him, man. That would be it's perfect place.
Go back to Green Bay.
Where we at? Oh, Aaron Rodgers would pull his hair out. Aaron Rodgers would be hotter than the fire. He'd be hotter than the fish grease. I'm telling you right now, if he would have ended up back at back in Green Bay. But Minnesota, Curry, I think that would be a great fit for him. That definitely. Oh my lord. And
That was stacked them pretty good.
And I kept telling people that I kept telling people Sam Darnold wasn't as bad as they thought he was. He just didn't handle offensive line. I guess when you do get a decent offensive line, you do step up to the plate and you play better. But he's really playing good for Minnesota. And a man JJ getting hurt, that might have been a blessing in disguise for them guys, man, because he's really playing good football for Minnesota. Next up, guys, is where we at here? Your thoughts on Bronny James? So okay, let me get Dana back in. Dana, have you watched the Lakers play the off season?
No, but I watched him earlier, and I think he should have listened to his mom and stayed in college.
You think he should have stayed in college?
Yes.
Okay. Do anybody disagree with him on that added adjective that he should stay in college?
I think he should have went to the T-Mobile.
The Mets won 7-3 final. Coming to the East Coast now. Tied 1-1. Yankees top of the first. No what they got 1 out, 2 strikes and 3 balls on Quan, whoever it is. He's 0 for 1. How is he 0 for 1 if he okay, he struck out. And next up is D Fry. The Bronny thing, and the reason why I brought that up, where we at in time? Okay, we good in time. The reason why I brought Bronny up, guys, is because I've been listening to the NBA channel, right? And there's a lot of players that are and fans are really disappointed in how this all went down. Now we all agree that it's nice to see Bronny play with his dad in the NBA, be the first father-son duo to play in the NBA. We're not knocking that part of it. I just think what we're knocking, or what I'm knocking, is how it all went down, because Bronny wasn't the best player in the draft at 55, but I understand why his dad did what he did.
He was really the best player on his team.
But the thing that really bothers me is how LeBron took less money to give to his son. And my thing is, just give LeBron all the money. LeBron, here, give your son $6 million, and his money's guaranteed. So Dana, as a Laker fan, are you okay with this? Because is this about winning, or is this about LeBron filling his legacy in a Laker uniform? And that's a priority more so than him winning anything other than an in-season tournament. How do you feel about this?
From how I look at it, I think he want to get comfortable and probably become one of the better players like him too. I just think he's proud to realize that the Lakers made a mistake by drafting Boone.
So this is what they were saying, that because LeBron was a free agent, he held over their head. And that, remember the talk about him going to Golden State and playing there, and I think it was all hogwash because of the aprons they have now. They couldn't fit him underneath the apron for what he got paid. He would have to take a major pay cut to go to Golden State. So I think that was just hearsay or hair talk. Like I said, the problem I have with it is that if I'm a player and I've been trying to get to the NBA all my life, and they drafted him and don't draft me for the NBA now, and let's say I don't even get in the league because I could fulfill the need that they want just in LA. I have a problem with that. I would have a personal problem with that with LeBron. But I understand why he did what he did because of the history that is made. But again, I just think that now you making the Los Angeles Lakers more of an entertainment than a sport. And that's where I have a problem with. I have a problem with that with any athletic event that goes on, that now they're considered entertainment, not sport. Because if they're entertainment, that means somebody has control over who wins and who loses. And I don't want that to be the scenario. I want it to be the athletes on the field, on the diamond, on the track, on the football field, on the basketball court, that determines who wins, who loses. Right. So again, I guess I'm walking the fence on this right here with the situation with Bronny. I'm happy for him that he gets to play with his father, but at the same token, though, as if I'm a Laker fan, I'm like, why us? Why not leave, go to Cleveland, and you can take him to Cleveland with you? Because the Lakers is all about winning titles, and when you're putting your needs before the team needs, that lets us know who's in charge in LA. Mo, you're a big basketball fan, and I know you really don't talk about other teams, but what's your thoughts on this move, and how do you see it working itself out if it does in the Lakers for Bronny being on the team?
I think LeBron is doing what most owners have always done, which is nepotism. Like coaches do it all the time. Everybody does it who has power. He's just showing his power. This is the way you keep me. You bring my son to the team. You give him a guaranteed contract, which he didn't earn, but I earned it for him.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be bad for the Lakers. I think Bronny has some. I think he has some skills. He's definitely a good defender, but he's got to work on his game. And I think he'll be working on it in the G League, which makes more sense to been taking up a roster spot there and not playing.
Because he now his contract.
I think that's what's best.
But his contract guaranteed, and I don't think he's a two-way player. I think they got him. I don't think they got him going to the G League at all.
Yeah, but even on their guaranteed contract, you can still go to the G League.
I thought there was a certain amount of money that you had to be under in order to go to be a two-way player. That counts against you.
No, that's a two-way player. A two-way player can only play so much with the big team. Okay. You can always send a big player to the G League.
Yeah. So, but I don't see them. But that's the thing. I don't see him going down there and staying. I see him coming, bringing them up, taking them back down, bringing them up, taking them back down. In certain scenarios. And I'm happy for him. And I mean, you made a good point there where you see other people do it too. It's just not. I guess it's just not is out in the social media as much as Bronny is. But I mean, there's a lot of people, Laker fans, who are not happy with this. There's some Laker fans that kind of they can't wait till LeBron retire so they can move on and do what they've been doing, bringing in free agent centers to win championships, because right now, that's what they do. But I'm just looking at, and most analysts have them being in the play-in game, not making the playoffs per se. I mean, getting in the playoffs, but they got to do a play-in. I think with the move with the Minnesota Timberwolves, that may not have put them, that to me that knocks them down, Minnesota, because they have I'm just looking at the predictions here, and they have the Celtics and the Nuggets going to the playoff. I mean, going to the championship. They have which I'm kind of surprised is that they don't even have. I'm looking where the Mavericks is, and I think the Mavericks got better when they got Klay Thompson.
Hey, Kim, can I say something off that Brownie before you get too far off of it?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I started to have mixed emotions about Brownie. At first, I was kind of disappointed that he was able to just kind of move up there based on his track record in college where he didn't really prove himself. But then, the only person that I really can think of in modern day history that has actually proved himself as a father-son combo is Ken Griffey.
Mm-hmm.
He earned his way from the minors all the way up, and he did well once he got to the major leagues. Probably did better than his father did. But this thing's been going on, like somebody said, forever and ever. Look at Dale Jr. He would never be in the NASCAR if it wasn't for Dale Sr. It was strictly nepotism. Kyle Petty, he would have never been in NASCAR if it wasn't for Richard Petty. But and that's not to hold that against those guys,
right?
That's the thing. But now back to where I said I have the mixed emotions. Before, I was kind of holding it against LeBron because he kind of got his son in there. But when I look at the way other people have done it, how can I argue with it? Really. I see what your point is that, maybe he did take a roster spot from somebody else. But Dale Jr., Kyle Petty, and those guys, even Tim Raines, when Tim Raines made it to the majors, Tim Raines didn't really do anything to get to the major leagues. Even when he got to the major leagues, he didn't really do anything there. So, but it was strictly nepotism. So it's not something that's just been going on recently. This is going on for a long time. So yeah, so I'm kind of on board with it more so now than I was before. But this is the way I feel. I've kind of had a change of heart.
And Mo made a good point about it, about how others have done it before. I mean, you look at it, it probably happened in the movies and the theater and things like that. But again, like you said about Ken Griffey Jr., he actually had to work to get to where he was, through the minors and all the way up. But I get it. I don't know, man. When it just as you dream about going to the NBA, and this guy just because of his dad, he gets there, and hopefully he takes it to heart, takes it seriously, because you got guys that they live and drink basketball, and when they get an opportunity to play in the NBA, they're gonna show you how good they really are and how they should stick and stay. And hopefully Bronny does the same thing. Is he takes it really seriously, and not that it's a path of privilege to get there, but get there and show the Laker fans that he deserves to be there. He deserves that spot. And I think once he does that, everybody will be okay with him being on that team. But the thing about it is, we know what happened. LeBron's like, oh, I'm not. You gotta draft my son, then I'm gonna do my contract. I'm taking $6 million less more. You gotta give my son a guaranteed $6 million contract, which they did do to him. And now he has to prove his point on that team. And I think that's one of the things. I think that's probably one of the reasons why they got rid of Darvin Ham, because I don't think Darvin Ham was on board with this situation with his son coming in. Dana, do you know anything about Was Darvin Ham okay with him coming in, or do you think that it just was a handwriting on the wall that he was going to be fired?
Bronny or JJ Reddick?
Say that again.
Who, Bronny or JJ Reddick?
No, Darvin Ham. Do you think he was on board with this situation that happened with Bronny James, or do you think that he just didn't want no part of that?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was taking the ball enough to just try this little science project.
Okay. Mo, how much confidence do you have in JJ Redick being the coach that the Lakers need to have? He definitely has slick hair, like slick hair Willie did, Pat Riley, and I guarantee he's probably gonna be one of them guys that dresses up in a suit and tie on the sideline. He's not gonna be the the t-shirt type of guy with the throwback collar or anything like that. He gonna probably dress the part. How do you think this situation turns out for JJ Redick?
I have all confidence in the world that LeBron James will be coaching the Lakers from game one.
Dana, what's your thoughts?
Kev, no disrespect. If you're not listening to me this summer, I'm disappointed in you, Kev, because as soon as they signed JJ Redick, I was putting my Lakers stuff in a box and to fire him. I don't want to watch this disaster. I don't. And if they win the championship, this will be the only one I don't play. I have an asterisk by it.
It's just crazy how this thing works out, because again you just, oh man, basketball is so hard what people don't, if you never coached basketball before, it's so hard to get 10 people on the same page all the time when they're on the floor, when they're in the locker room. Football is probably harder, but you have an offensive coordinator, you have a defensive coordinator, you have a wide receiver coach, you have a special team coach, so you break them all down to a group. With basketball, it's 15 guys, you and your assistant coaches. Now, assistant coaches, they do defense, they do work on certain things, but to get them all on the same sheet of music it's really hard. It's so hard, and there's going to be sacrifices that got to be made. You just watching the Celtics and listening to the aftermath of Drew Holiday coming there, and Drew Holiday said, I knew this is a special team when I came here, and only thing they asked me to do is do this. He said, but when the playoffs came around, it's like, okay, now do what you do. He said, so my body was healthy. He said, my mind was healthy. He said, and the only thing I did was just play my game, and so he made sacrifices for the team, and again, if the Lakers can get it together some kind of way, maybe they can do something. But I think this might be a backfire, and and this is a slap in the face to all the assistant coaches in the NBA. Even though I don't want Sam Cassell to leave Boston just yet, but I think he's a way better coach than JJ Redick. He got 2 titles as a player. He got 3 titles as a player, 1 as a coach. So that tells you something. And he's probably gonna be favored to get somebody's job next year. I'm gonna hate to see him leave Boston, but he got to spread his wings and go. So that's just my thoughts with that, man. We're down to like 30 seconds. We didn't get a chance, guys. Just remember this. What's your favorite sport? What's your favorite sports in what month your sports is? And I know what mine is. So we'll talk. We didn't get a chance to talk about it today because Mo maybe kept saying that Devontae Adams didn't want to go.
I'm sorry, bro.
Didn't want to go to
I
Pittsburgh.
get sorry. I've been arguing with Browns and Ravens fans about this all day. You need to join the AFC North war room that I'm in. I'm gonna send it to you.
I'm in so many chat rooms. It's unreal. But anyway, guys.
You already invited. See, you didn't even join.
But all right, guys, y'all take it easy, man. Enjoy the rest of your week. I got a football game on Wednesday. I think I got something. I got something on Monday. Yeah, practice. I got practice.
We talking about practice?
Yeah, we talking about practice. We talking about practice, man. And basketball season only starts to beginning of November, so we'll probably start we'll be at practice every day.
Yeah,
probably starting soon.
Hey, Dana can relate to this, and we can get our left tackle to practice.
Yeah, all said, man.
All right, guys.
Jerry Jones this day. Offensive lined up.
All right, guys. Enjoy the game tonight. The Bills versus Jets. Buffalo shit. This game should be over in, I probably will say, the second quarter, maybe. And just reminder, think about who's going to replace Mike McCarthy. Who's going to replace Mike McCarthy going forward, guys? I appreciate y'all hanging out with me again tonight.
Another Jerry Jones puppet.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night, man. Be safe.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by KD from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big-time players make big-time plays and big-time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.